Hey, Cristy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Meg. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited. You are one of our amazing speakers at the Become Influential Virtual Summit. The summit is happening June 8th through 12th, and you're speaking on Monday, June 8th. So you're like our big kickoff day. Very exciting. Um, and the reason for that is a good one because you're speaking about stress and overwhelm. So Monday is our day dedicated to mindset and self-care, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily associate as being business skills, but they're very, very important for business owners and especially for parent entrepreneurs. We clearly have a lot going on in our lives, and stress and overwhelm, I mean, everybody can relate to that, especially right now. So I'm excited to welcome you to the podcast and also have you presenting at that summit.
Yeah, thank you. My passion is really helping moms, especially mompreneurs who are, have that added job description to their plate. Because as moms, I mean, it's like you're all over the place anyway. And then if as a mompreneur, you're a business owner, and that's another baby that you have to take care of. So where does that put you in your self-care? Way in the back.
And it sure is. It is another baby for sure, that business. So tell me a little bit about your journey as a mother, and also your journey in business and how it's evolved over the same course of your motherhood.
Yeah. So I have always worked and gone to school and raised a family at the same time. Um, I have several degrees, but when I decided to become, when I finally decided what I wanted to do when I grew up, so I went to nursing school. My oldest son was 4, so I was raising him. I was going to school and working. Um, but of course, I didn't learn my lesson then. I went to get my master's, be a nurse practitioner. I have 2 kids by then, and my youngest was, oh no, the first time I went to school, my oldest was 1. And then the second time I went to school, I went back to grad school. My youngest one was 4. So 2 kids then, still going to school, still working, and raising kids. So now fast forward, here we are, working full time as a nurse practitioner. Kids, semi-grown, but they still need mom, of course, and I want to be around them. um, and I just, I've always been proud of being the multitasker. Oh, I can do everything. I can do this, I can do that, and still thrive. And that's fine when you're young, but as you get older, there's a lot of things that are your control, and especially with having kids, they need you more than ever. When they're young, they can't really take care of themselves, and when they're older, you need to interact more with them because those are precious moments that you will never get back. As mompreneurs, here we go again. Like we talked about, another baby that we have to nurture, take care of. That's another thing on our plate. So I've been seeing a lot of women that they're tired, they're exhausted, and they can't lose weight. Their idea of self-care is training for marathons or doing this and that, but that's more stress on their body. And then so you go see your provider, you have all these that you unload on them. They give you either medicine and they tell you to do one thing or something, and you leave and you're like, okay, now what do I want to do? I mean, you don't have the support. So that's when I decided that, okay, I need to help more women, more moms. And the way that I can do it is to be an online health coach.
So I feel like most parents know what it feels like to be stressed and overwhelmed, but I would still, that being said, would love if you could give us some examples of how stress and overwhelm can look, maybe things that people wouldn't necessarily label as those things. Like you mentioned before, like weight gain, things like that. So what are some of the signs or symptoms that we are experiencing stress and overwhelm?
So when you're reaching for, either you're giving into your cravings. I mean, everyone has cravings, but when you're constantly craving for sweet and salty, and you have, you can't control reaching for it, it's like you don't care anymore. You just want to be comforted at that moment. Because everyone knows, okay, fruits, veggies are healthier and they're good for you. But when you're stressed and overwhelmed, you don't care. You just want that chocolate. You just want that potato chip. Um, so, and when, you don't necessarily think about, increasing your activity, going for a walk or going for a jog, because you're just stressed, and at that moment, you're just in survival mode. You just want to feel good.
Now, let's talk about the session that you're going to be presenting at Become Influential. Tell me a little bit about what our attendees are going to be able to expect and what they will learn.
Yep. So I will be talking about how to identify the causes of your stress. Because, like, for some people, that's the norm for them, and they don't realize that, hey, if I just do something different, or either delegate or eliminate that, my life will be much easier and I'll be in a better mood. So we'll talk about identifying those triggers, and we'll talk about, easy steps on how you can eliminate those, and even like healthy snacking while you're working on your business. Because let's face it, if you're in better health, in a better mood, better focus, you will get more things done. You'll be more efficient. Your business will thrive, and your home life will thrive.
Well, because it's all tied in and connected together. So if we're
Yeah.
physically in good health, it's got to be easier to be mentally in good health, and kind of vice versa. It's all connected.
Yes. Yeah, it's this whole juggling act, and you just have to find, yeah, balance, yes and no. But it's just, where your priorities are, and just picking and choosing, and, and planning properly.
Yeah, balance is one of those hot topic words. I always I use it, and then I feel like I need a disclaimer every time I use that word, because it's a hot button issue. So I'm glad that you kind of
Yes.
mentioned that it's not necessarily going to be the same for everybody, because everybody's got different priorities, and they're going to adjust as necessary for their own health and well-being.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, this has been so great. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more, and to allow my audience to get to know you a little bit more. And if you don't already have your free ticket for the summit, you can head over to becomeinfluential.com and grab your free ticket today, and make sure that you are there on day one, mindset and self-care, and join Cristy for her session on overwhelm and stress. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and also for giving so much value to the summit.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it. Really excited.
Me too. Bye.
Bye.